Emotional fitness is hugely important to help our mental well-being. This presentation aims to look at some ways to increase your overall emotional fitness and build on your resilience to deal with situations that may feel like a challenge. Emotional fitness is about feeling confident and more able to experience a variety of emotions without allowing them to become too overwhelming. It is not about only feeling happy all the time and avoiding sadness. Life encourages us to experience a range of different feelings, as they all play a vital part in helping us develop and gain control over our choices and behaviour. The first thing we will look at is a very honest story told by one of the University of Lincoln's graduate students, Hannah.
I'm Hannah and I studied animal behaviour and welfare. I graduated in 2017. Before university, life was pretty dull. I had quite boring jobs, things that weren't really fulfilling. You expect that it'd be on the same level as college, when actually it's a lot more difficult. So when I first came to Lincoln, I was enrolled on the psychology course. After my first year, I decided that it weren't for me. And with advice from many services, careers, student wellbeing, I chose to enrol onto animal behaviour and welfare, which I knew at the time was the right thing to do. Before I came to uni, I had an assessment because I'd had a diagnosis of depression and anxiety. I came into student wellbeing and I saw one of the advisors. She could tell that I was quite anxious and shaky, so she helped me with sorting out some medication, getting an appointment with the GP downstairs. As my time went on throughout university, my mental health did start to deteriorate. They supported me week in, week out. They came to appointments with me to see a psychiatrist, which is where I got my diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. Whilst I was at uni, I picked up some quite bad self-destructive behaviours, from excessive drinking, not sleeping very well, just abusing myself and my own needs, really. With all that came many ups and many downs as well. The downs were a lot of self-harm, a lot of suicidal ideation, hospitalisation, and it was quite a rocky road. I was quite challenging for the people working with me, but without the support of the people at Student Wellbeing, I don't think I'd have managed to get through my degree. I was reluctant to access services, not only at the beginning, but throughout my whole time of studying. I had a very push-pull relationship with Student Wellbeing, and I think that was due to having fears of abandonment, rejection, low self-confidence and esteem, that I always thought that they'd kind of stop seeing me or kind of reject me in a way. I'd built up a really good relationship with my advisor, and the fear of that being taken away was really difficult, especially in my last year. The fear of actually finishing university, graduating, and having no support at all around me was massively challenging for me to manage on my own. So since leaving university, I applied for the graduate internship for Student Wellbeing, which was really useful, and I won Graduate Intern of the Year. And from then I now work in mental health services, which is the local crisis house, supporting people in a mental health crisis. So this for me is rewarding, and I always wanted to kind of be able to give to somebody what I got given to me. I'd advise people to not underestimate their own mental health, and not to think that mental health won't affect them, because mental health doesn't discriminate, and you know, it can happen to any of us at any time. You just need to be able to have that resilience and those coping mechanisms to be able to get yourself through it.
We are really grateful to Hannah for sharing her story, but as she says, it is important to recognise that mental health doesn't discriminate. It is something we can all experience difficulty with at some point. It is therefore incredibly important that we can recognise in ourselves when we may need to reach out for some support. Self-care plays a vital role in keeping us feeling happy and healthy. It is something that easily gets forgotten about when we are busy with deadlines or other commitments. It may not seem that important, but this is not the case. Looking after yourself is something you should be doing every single day to maintain your physical and mental health. By looking after ourselves, we will feel better prepared and better able to deal with the many challenges we may be faced with. We will explore this further now. However, for more information, please see the Student Wellbeing's Guide to Self-Care, One Day of Looking After You, found on the Student Services website. Firstly, think about your eating, preparing and cooking meals and making the time to eat. Some may choose to shop and cook for themselves, and others share this as a flat or an apartment for the social benefits, and sometimes for the money-saving benefits too. A balanced diet will impact your ability to focus and concentrate, your energy and memory, which will in turn help in your studies. Be aware of any significant changes in the way that you eat. Are you eating too much or too little? What is the reason behind this? You are completely responsible for looking after yourself and keeping well when at uni. Should you feel that your eating is starting to affect your overall health and well-being, then make sure you reach out to someone for help and advice. For more information, take a look at the Student Wellbeing Eat Well Guide found on our website. Sleeping. We have all experienced the groggy feeling after a poor night's sleep. But if you often have an irregular sleep pattern or you are not getting enough sleep, it will have a big impact on your day-to-day activities and also your mood. What you can do to help? Get into a good sleep routine. Try to wind down before bed so your brain starts to associate this with getting ready to sleep. Try studying away from your room, either in the communal areas or in the library, so that your room becomes less associated with work and more of a haven to unwind. Don't watch or do anything too stimulating before sleep, particularly staring at a bright screen like the one on your phone just before bed. Try something else just before bed, such as reading. Think about your alcohol consumption. This won't lead to a good and restful sleep, rather restless and more than likely leave you feeling worse. Take a look at the Student Wellbeing Guide on how to get a good night's sleep for more information. Exercise. We don't mean massive commitments here, running marathons or signing up for memberships and events, but exercising regularly can improve sleep, concentration and energy levels and decrease anxiety and stress, helping you to feel happier in general. Find activities that fit into your daily routine. Can you take the stairs instead of the lift? Make time to go for a walk, get off the bus a stop earlier or park further away. Don't forget about the Sports Centre and the Student Union clubs and societies, as they have a lot on offer as well, so there's plenty of opportunity to try something new. For more ideas on being more active, take a look at the Student Wellbeing Virtual Guide on exercise. We will now take a look at the 5 ways to wellbeing. It's important to think about them in the same way that we might aim to get 5 a day fruit and veg for our physical health. For example, we can take steps each day to improve our emotional health and in turn build our emotional resilience to deal with those challenging situations. The first way to wellbeing is be active. Be physically active wherever you can and try to incorporate an activity of some type into your day. As we mentioned earlier, physical activity can lower feelings of stress, anxiety and depression, and you will find just by moving more, you will help those feelings ease. Your stress and anxiety will decrease as well. Even slower paced activities such as walking will help boost your mood, and it will all be of benefit. Another way to wellbeing is connect. Social connections are crucial to promote positive well-being. Could you try to connect with someone every day? A friend, colleague, or a family member perhaps? We're all relying on modern technology, and we might send a text if it feels easier, but just try and challenge yourself. Try to talk to someone rather than sending an email or a text. Even a video call will be very beneficial. Seeing and speaking to someone face to face will be of huge benefit and a boost not only to you but to them as well. Ask someone how their day has been or what they did at the weekend. Take time to actively listen and be engaged. Another one of the 5 ways to well-being is give. Giving can be one of the best activities to boost mental well-being, and this can be done in many different ways, big or small. Could you hold the door open for someone? Can you do a job for a friend or family member without being asked? Show appreciation to someone for something they might have done, or give someone a compliment. We all know how good that feels, so can we carry that feeling forward? Things don't have to be big. Give however much you are able to. Big or small, it will still be a boost to your mental well-being. Keep learning. We know that learning and development can not only increase knowledge and skills, but increase our confidence and self-esteem as well. Can you join a club or a society that holds your interests? Can you find out something new about a family member or friend? Read a new book or take up a new hobby. Watch an interesting TED Talk. There are loads of them out there to choose from. And the last way to well-being is take notice. It's so important to have an awareness of what is happening around you. In that moment, try to recognise what's happening and enjoy it. Can you find out something new that you've never noticed or realised before? Take notice of how you feel, your thoughts, feelings and actions. If you take a moment before you act, how might the situation change? In that way, can you also take notice of how others may be feeling? Try and take more time before making decisions or before reacting. So those are the 5 ways to well-being. Be active, connect, give, keep learning and take notice. We're not expecting that you would do all 5 every single day forever, but you can incorporate 1 or 2 of these into your routine moving forward to help build up your resilience and boost your mental well-being. All of us will feel a range of emotions day to day. At the end of any given day, you might find that you've experienced highs and lows and spent a lot of time somewhere in between. It's important to remember that experiencing these emotions in response to different situations is perfectly normal. What's also important is how we handle these range of emotions. When we talk about emotions, we can be talking about a huge and diverse range of feelings. It might range from sadness to anger, frustration, anxiety or stress. Of course, it's very rare that we get one feeling without another. For example, sadness might also bring worry and fear. We all feel these in different ways and at different times. What we want you to start thinking about is what can help you manage these emotions. Again, this is going to be different for different people, and what works for others may not work for you. Exercise. Yep, here it is again, but it really is important. Again, nothing huge, but just try to get out and get some fresh air every day. Talking. Make sure you talk to friends and family about how you're feeling. It's often helpful to get someone else's perspective. Writing a diary. If you feel that you can't talk to friends or family, get your feelings out by writing in a diary or journal. Often, just the act of writing things down and getting them out of your head can help lift a weight off your shoulders. Try and keep positive wherever you can. Try to remind yourself of all the positive things whenever you need to. Remember the things that you have achieved and what you have been thankful for. It's not always easy and takes a bit of practice, but it's a great skill to master in difficult times. Another incredibly useful skill is to have the ability to recognise your strengths. We spend far too much time focusing on the things we want to improve or change about ourselves that we often forget the things we are achieving. Being able to identify your strengths is not always easy. It's not something we are ever actively taught to do, and therefore we have to try and do it ourselves. So how can you identify those strengths? Record the good. Whether it's in a journal or on your phone, keep note of all the things you are achieving or the things that have gone well in the day. You can then revisit these things when you need a bit of a morale boost. Go to bed on a positive note. End your day by telling yourself something you are pleased with or happy about. Try and add a but to anything negative. If you're facing a troubling time or having done not so well at something as you would have liked, add a but. For example, I didn't do as well in that job interview as I wanted, but I'm going to make sure I prepare better next time. Or perhaps, I'm really worried about my exams coming up, but I'm going to make sure I reward myself for getting through it once it's all finished. Small changes in your mindset can make huge differences. This is the worry cycle. The worry cycle is a really good visual example of how easy it is to get caught in a vicious cycle of negativity. So we worry about something, which brings with it a range of uncomfortable emotions, which then impacts our self-esteem and our motivation. So as a result, we worry further. The first step is to recognise when we are stuck in this cycle. Only then can you do something to try and break it. There are lots of useful ways, some which we have already covered, to help ease the intensity of this cycle, such as looking after yourself every day, using a journal to record your feelings, using relaxation or mindfulness, getting out of the house for a walk to help gain some perspective, looking at the positives and your strengths rather than focusing on the things we want to be different, speaking with friends and family, and accessing services for support such as your school, the library or student services. As important as it is to be able to manage your emotions, it's also incredibly important to be able to identify when you're not coping and to know where to get help and support. So what signs might you be looking out for in yourself and in others? Your appetite. Keep an eye on how you're eating. Are you suddenly eating more or less? Try to learn what's normal for you so you can recognise if it changes. Sleep. The same thing applies to our sleep. If you're struggling to sleep at night or perhaps wanting to sleep a lot during the day, is that normal for you? If not, perhaps it's time to ask for some help and some support. Emotions and thoughts. It's so important to keep track of how you're feeling. Of course, normal anxieties and stresses in life will happen, and it's usual and normal to feel these ups and downs. However, if these become prolonged or you feel that you're not coping, make sure you talk to someone or seek appropriate help. Socialising. Are you starting to withdraw from friends or family? Are you ignoring texts or turning down invites? Is this normal or a change for you? Is this a sign you need to speak to someone about how you're feeling and ask for some help? So what can help if we're struggling? Simple breathing exercises can be really beneficial as a strategy to help manage our anxiety or worries. There are lots available online, and it's always really important to try and learn these before you need them, so practice them when you're feeling well. Think about your self-care. We've mentioned this a lot, but think about your eating, your sleeping and your exercise. Bear that in mind and make sure that you're looking after yourself in the best way possible, because that will help you focus your mind and help you get better motivation and concentration. Find a routine that works for you as well. Try different ways of planning and organising your time. This will help keep your anxiety and stress levels as low as possible. Don't forget to factor in downtime, hobbies and interests, and time spent with friends or family. Remember that things will challenge you, upset you and make you angry. These are perfectly normal emotions to feel, but the importance is on how you act or behave as a response. You may not feel you have much control over your emotions, but you do have control over what you say or do as a consequence. If you feel that you're unable to cope at any point, please remember to ask for help. So who can you ask for help? Think about your support network and about how this looks for you. Perhaps it's family and friends, workmates, your GP, tutors, or university or external support services. Use your support network as much as you can if you feel you need to. It can be difficult to ask for help sometimes, but there is always somebody ready to be a listening ear. If you don't know where to start, try chatting with one of us in one of the student wellbeing drop-ins. We run these Monday to Friday between 12 and 2 p.m. and Thursday evenings during term time between 5 and 7 p.m. So our top tips for you are: Follow the 5 ways to wellbeing if you can. Be active, connect, give, keep learning and take notice. Try and incorporate a little of these into your everyday life. Find some balance. Try to find a work-life balance if you can. Make sure that you have some time for yourself and for doing things that you really enjoy. Make time for family and friends. Spend time with the people that cheer on your strengths and successes and who make you feel good about yourself. Make time for your hobbies and interests. Find time for things that you enjoy. Make sure you get enough sleep and keep an eye on your sleep pattern and routine. Eat well. Try to stick to a healthy, balanced diet as much as possible. This will help you concentrate better and have more motivation and more energy. Recognise the good. Reward your achievements and your hard work. Work out a way that you can do this. That might be a memory box or having a collection of photos that you can look through. Focus on the positive as much as possible. Take breaks when you need to. You'll be more productive when you're working if you've given yourself regular breaks to recharge. Know your support network and remember to use it. There are a couple of useful services to be aware of should you need to access them in the future. The first one is Shout, which is a 24/7 free and confidential text message service for anyone who's struggling to cope. They also have a lot of great articles and information on their website. Together All is a 24/7 online mental health community which the university pay for a subscription for. This means you can access it for free when signing up using your student email address. There are lots of fantastic online courses, quizzes and material to work through in your own time on a variety of different topics. Together All also offers peer-to-peer support. The Student Wellbeing Centre also have social media which you can follow. Much of our content is not just University of Lincoln specific, so it's well worth following as we often post useful hints and tips on managing change and keeping your overall well-being in good health. The Student Wellbeing Centre offers a variety of support, from chatting with an advisor in drop-in, trying one of our online skills group or accessing one of the popular groups such as Manwell or the Wellbeing Cafe. To discuss these in more detail, please do get in touch with us. Drop-in runs Monday to Friday between 12 and 2 p.m. and Thursday evenings during term time between 5 and 7 p.m. Thanks so much for listening.